The wind hissed like a warning across the empty parking lot of the interstate gas station, the fluorescent lights above buzzing in irregular pulses. Inside, Ben scrolled through his phone, trying to ignore the eerie rhythm of popping bulbs. It was 2 in the morning, dead hour, he told himself. But something outside felt awake. A distant hum vibrated through the floor, faint but steady, like an engine idling somewhere it shouldn't be. Ben looked up, no headlights on the asphalt, no sound of approaching wheels. The building seemed to exhale, faint wisps of cold air escaping as the glass door shuddered ever so slightly. Flickers from the ancient security monitor rolled across the counter, painting Ben's face in ghostly static light. He leaned closer, tapping the smudged screen, trying to fix a frame frozen halfway in static snow. For just a second, a silhouette appeared in the image, standing perfectly still beside gas pump number 3. Ben blinked hard, rubbing his eyes. Nothing when he turned to look outside. The pumps were empty, the shadows stretched thin under the buzzing lights. A chill crawled under his skin anyway. The radio behind him, long dead from static, sputtered once as if remembering how to breathe. He checked the time again, exactly 2:01. The same glowing digits blinked from his wristwatch. Then, his phone rang. Unknown number. He hesitated before answering, silence filling the line until a voice whispered his name, not quite human in rhythm, as though it were being repeated from a recording he never made. Ben dropped the phone, heartbeat thundering. It hit the counter, screen still glowing softly. When he bent to pick it up, the display changed suddenly, live feed from camera 3, the same pump outside, now showing a lone figure in a long coat turning its head toward the lens. He bolted to the door, pressing his face to the cold glass. The lot remained lifeless, dark asphalt glimmering under misty drizzle. No figure. But then he noticed the door's reflection trembling, lines bending wrong, as if reality itself glitched with every movement of the fluorescent lights above. The security light above pump 3 popped with a sharp crack, plunging half the station into blackness. In the new dark, Ben's own reflection distorted again, his mouth slightly out of sync, his eyes moving slower than his breath. Then came the sound, footsteps dragging somewhere between real and recorded. He reached for the crowbar under the counter, palms slick with sweat. The sound faded, replaced by rhythmic knocking, not from the door, but from the vending machine near the window. Each knock matched his pulse perfectly, as if something was mimicking him beat for beat. When Ben approached, the machine's glass bent inward briefly, like someone pressed from the inside trying to escape. The faint outline of a face appeared in the reflection, his own, but the eyes all black. The second he turned away, the reflection remained facing him, smiling faintly. He stumbled back toward the counter. The phone rang again, this time showing the station's landline number calling itself. The static voice returned, whispering coordinates, his exact location, followed by a phrase he couldn't comprehend, like words melting into wrong frequencies. Ben grabbed the radio transmitter, shouting for help. Only feedback answered, then a low hum that resonated perfectly with the flicker of the lights. It was like the entire building breathed in unison with that sound, synchronized heartbeat of something unseen. Through the front windows, motion shimmered near pump 3. The figure reappeared, hands at its sides, head tilted impossibly far to the left. Under the flickering beam, its face finally became visible. It was Ben, expression vacant, motionless except for lips repeating his own name. Every instinct told him to run, yet his legs locked tight. The monitor behind the counter displayed both versions of him now, one inside, one outside, each taking turns to blink. Then the power surged, lights exploding into full brightness, freezing both images mid-motion like photographs. When darkness returned, Ben found himself standing outside without remembering walking there. The night air cut deep and tasted metallic. He turned to look at the station, now sealed shut, with another Ben inside staring back at him in mirror-perfect horror. The engines of passing trucks should have been audible on the interstate nearby, yet their sound had vanished completely. Time thinned around him, the world sounding hollow, stripped of static background life. Even the drizzle hung midair for a heartbeat before falling again. Pressed a hand to the window, the surface rippled under his touch like liquid glass. The other Ben mirrored him, but half a second too late. That delay cracked something deep inside his mind, the sense that the reflection belonged to a copy still learning how to pretend. The horizon flickered next, lights of the surrounding town blinking out one by one in synchronized blackout. All that remained in color was the gas station sign, glowing bright red, humming softly like static-laced lullaby from an old television no one remembered tuning. Suddenly, a truck appeared from nowhere, headlights slicing reality in two. It rushed past, causing a shockwave of heat and motion that distorted the landscape like water. As it vanished into a curve, its taillights duplicated, double image, each fading at a different rate. Ben blinked again and found himself back inside, hands gripping the counter. His heart hammered out of rhythm. He checked the clock, 2:01 still glowing. The tape looped, even his breath sounded recycled, like he was stuck in a self-playing record. Determined to break the cycle, he unplugged every device and turned off the main lights. The silence that followed was thick, unreasonably dense, almost physical. Then, beyond the darkness, a voice whispered clearly, "Don't turn around this time." His throat tightened. He forced himself to look anyway, and froze. There was nothing, just the faint reflection of the store's aisles. Then one of the chip bags swayed gently though no air moved, and from that corner the sound of tapping resumed, deliberate and closer. Windows outside began fogging as though breath pressed from both sides. Shadows bled into one another, forming vague silhouettes of human outlines. Some faced the station, others moved along phantom paths through the parking lot, looping endlessly without feet touching ground. Ben reached for the emergency lock on the front door, but the mechanism refused to engage. The handle vibrated under his palm as if held from the other side. Then the reflection of his hand twisted, 5 fingers splitting into more, doubling, replicating too quickly to count. Desperate, he backed toward the restrooms. The light flickered madly, and in those split flashes he caught glimpses of himself entering the frame before he moved. The world no longer responded in real time, something ran parallel, slightly delayed yet alive. At the mirror, his reflection began moving independently, eyes following something behind him that wasn't there. Then it smiled and pointed upward. From the ceiling vent came soft dragging, like boots crossing metal tiles. A shadow passed across the overhead bulb, choking out most of the light. He raised the crowbar, waiting for whatever would drop through the vent, but nothing came. Instead, the radio outside turned itself on, playing an old emergency broadcast repeating his name, followed by, "Incident still under review, subject not accounted for." Driven by panic, Ben sprinted toward the exit. The highway beyond glowed faintly blue, unnatural yet beckoning. As he stepped outside, the figure at pump 3 turned slowly again, still him, but with a faint hole where the face should have been, absorbing the light instead of reflecting it. The air pulsed once, the ground shaking just enough to rattle the glass doors. Then silence descended. Ben's voice echoed softly from every direction now, layered like overlapping tapes, each one reciting different words in perfect unison with his heartbeats. He tried to scream but heard nothing. Even sound felt reversed, pulled inward into the void of his duplicate's face. The gas station lights blinked twice, revealing both versions of him now standing side by side, and then one faded like a glitch frame dissolving into static. Morning came suddenly, the light gray-blue of pre-dawn spilling over the highway. The first customer of the day found the station unlocked, silent, every machine running but no clerk in sight. The counter monitor still looped camera 3, where no one ever appeared. Police reviewed the footage later. Every recording between 2 and 3 a.m. was corrupted, frames looping, sound inverted, time code stuck. In one frozen still, officers claimed to see 2 identical men standing in the same spot, half phasing through each other. They discovered Ben's name listed twice in the employment roster, one entry several years older than the other, both with his signature identical down to the flick of the pen. HR records couldn't verify which hire date was real. No one ever reached his emergency contact. The station has since closed, boarded up with signs warning of electrical instability. Travelers who stopped nearby still report a faint hum through car radios at exactly 2 a.m., accompanied by whispers that say a name. Always the same one, Ben. Locals say the glitch replays itself like a wound in time, each night the cameras flicker, each night the door unlocks, each night the visitor returns. Maybe it's not a haunting at all but a system error in the fabric of what we call real. If you ever drive that stretch of interstate and see the red light still glowing behind boarded windows, do not stop. Because at 2 a.m., something might decide to replay you too, and once the loop begins, it never truly ends.